Sea turtles are some of the most ancient and wondrous creatures on our planet. They are living fossils, swimming in the same oceans that dinosaurs once saw from the shore. When you look into the wise old eyes of a sea turtle, you are seeing a history that stretches back more than 100 million years. They are gentle giants and tireless travelers, true mariners of the deep blue. These reptiles are perfectly suited for a life at sea, with streamlined shells called carapaces and powerful flippers that act like wings, allowing them to fly through the water. They are a symbol of resilience, of endurance, and of the profound, quiet wisdom of the natural world. Their presence reminds us of a time long past and connects us to the very heartbeat of the ocean itself. What makes these animals so truly special is their deep and mysterious connection to the planet. They are not just wandering aimlessly, they are on a mission, following invisible pathways that have been etched into their very being over countless generations. They are air-breathing reptiles, yet they have made the vast, seemingly endless ocean their home. They carry their homes on their backs, ancient mariners navigating a world that is constantly changing, yet they remain steadfast in their purpose. There are 7 different species of sea turtles, and each one is unique and magnificent in its own way. The incredible navigational abilities of sea turtles are one of nature's most profound mysteries. How does a tiny hatchling, upon entering the water for the first time, know which way to swim? How does an adult female, after traveling thousands of miles across the open ocean, find her way back to the very same beach where she herself was born? The answer is as magical as it is scientific. It is believed that sea turtles have a built-in compass, an ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field. They feel the invisible lines of force that wrap around our planet, using them as a global positioning system to guide their long and lonely journeys across the vast, featureless expanse of the sea. This internal map is not just a simple compass pointing north or south. Scientists believe it is far more sophisticated. Sea turtles seem to be able to detect the angle and the intensity of the magnetic field, which changes depending on where you are on the globe. This gives them a sense of their latitude and their longitude, allowing them to pinpoint their location with astonishing accuracy. It is a skill honed over millions of years of evolution, a deep instinctual knowledge passed down from one generation to the next. They are not just swimming, they are reading a map that is invisible to our eyes, a map written into the very fabric of the planet. It is a testament to the deep connection that living creatures have with their environment. Imagine a young turtle, having spent years drifting in the open ocean, feeling an ancient call to return. It begins its journey, guided by this unseen force. It uses the sun's position during the day and the stars at night, but its primary guide is the Earth's magnetic pull. It is a solitary pilgrimage, a journey of immense faith and instinct. The migration of the sea turtle is one of the most epic journeys in the animal kingdom. It is a testament to their incredible endurance and unwavering instinct. These gentle creatures travel thousands of miles across the world's oceans, facing storms, predators, countless other dangers. The leatherback sea turtle, for example, undertakes one of the longest migrations of any reptile. Some have been tracked traveling from nesting beaches in Indonesia, all the way to the coast of California, to feed on jellyfish, a journey of over 12,000 miles. This is not a one-time trip. It is a cycle they repeat throughout their long lives, a constant pilgrimage between feeding grounds, nesting sites. This journey is not a frantic race, but a slow and steady odyssey. The turtles travel with a quiet determination, their powerful flippers propelling them through the water with rhythmic grace. They travel alone, solitary navigators on an immense blue canvas. They may spend months or even years at sea, crossing entire oceans in their quest to survive and reproduce. Think of the loggerhead turtles that hatch on the beaches of Japan. They are swept up by the Kuroshio current. They spend years traveling across the entire Pacific Ocean to the rich feeding areas off the coast of Baja California, Mexico. Then, as adults, they make the long journey all the way back to Japan to lay their own eggs. The Great Migration is a powerful symbol of the interconnectedness of our planet's ecosystems. The life of a sea turtle is a perfect circle, and it begins on a dark, quiet beach under the light of the moon. After her long journey, the female turtle drags her heavy body out of the surf and onto the sand. She is clumsy and vulnerable on land. With her powerful rear flippers, she painstakingly digs a deep, flask-shaped chamber in the sand. It is a labor of incredible effort and instinct. Inside this carefully constructed nest, she lays her eggs, which look like soft, white ping-pong balls. She may lay 100 or more. She carefully covers the nest, camouflaging it, then disappears back into the comforting embrace of the sea. For about 2 months, the eggs incubate in the warm sand. The temperature of the nest is incredibly important, as it determines the sex of the hatchlings. Warmer sand produces females. Cooler sand produces males. This makes them vulnerable to a warming climate. After their incubation, a truly magical event occurs. The tiny turtles, each no bigger than the palm of your hand, begin to break free from their eggs using a special egg tooth. They work together, a team of siblings, digging their way up through the sand. This journey to the surface can take several days, and they must time their emergence perfectly. They wait until the coolness of the night tells them it is safe to emerge. Then, in a sudden burst of life, the tiny hatchlings pour out of the nest and begin a desperate scramble for the sea. This is perhaps the most dangerous time in a sea turtle's life. Ghost crabs, seabirds, other predators lie in wait. They must run this gauntlet, a mad dash for survival, their tiny flippers working furiously to carry them across the sand and into the waves. Of the hundreds of hatchlings that emerge from a single nest, only a precious few will survive this perilous journey to adulthood. Once the surviving hatchlings disappear into the vastness of the open ocean, they enter a phase of their lives that scientists call the lost years. For a long time, we had no idea where they went or what they did. It was as if they simply vanished from the world for 5, 10, or even 20 years. This period remains one of the great mysteries of marine biology. These young turtles are just too small to track with traditional satellite tags, and the open ocean is, an immense and difficult place to study. We're only now, with new technologies and patient observation, beginning to piece together the secrets of this mysterious chapter in their lives. What we believe happens is that the young turtles find refuge in massive floating mats of seaweed like the sargassum seaweed in the Atlantic Ocean. These floating golden forests provide both shelter and food. Hidden among the tangled seaweed, the small, dark-shelled turtles are perfectly camouflaged from predators swimming below and from seabirds hunting from above. This floating nursery is a world of its own, rich with small crabs, shrimp, and other tiny organisms that the young turtles can feed on. They spend their days drifting with the ocean currents, growing slowly in this protective haven, far from the dangers of the coastal waters. During these lost years, the turtles are passive travelers, carried across entire ocean basins by the great circulating currents known as gyres. A loggerhead hatchling from Florida might be carried across the Atlantic to the waters around the Azores and Madeira, spending its juvenile years in the eastern Atlantic before beginning its journey back west. They are true ocean wanderers, their lives dictated by the rhythm of the currents. As they grow larger and stronger, the young turtles eventually leave their seaweed nurseries and move to coastal habitats. The mystery of the lost years reminds us how much we still have to learn about the lives of these ancient mariners and the ocean they call home. Even for an animal that has survived for over 100 million years, life is a constant struggle filled with natural dangers. From the moment they hatch to the end of their long lives, sea turtles face a gauntlet of challenges. As hatchlings, their race to the sea is fraught with peril. Ghost crabs scuttle across the sand, snatching tiny turtles. Gulls, frigate birds swoop down to pick hatchlings off. The sand is a battlefield. Only the luckiest and quickest reach the waves. Once in the water, dangers multiply. Shallow coastal waters host predators, groupers, snappers, sharks. Young turtles make easy meals. Hatchlings swim frantically to reach the open ocean, but they're not entirely safe there. Large sharks, especially tiger sharks, can still prey on adults. A tiger shark, sometimes called the garbage can of the sea, has jaws strong enough to crush a turtle's shell. Beyond predators, sea turtles must also contend with the raw power of nature itself. Hurricanes, major storms, can wash away nests before the eggs hatch. A powerful storm can also make navigation difficult and exhaust a turtle on its long migration. Disease and parasites are another constant threat. Fibropapillomatosis causes large tumors on soft tissues, tumors on eyes, tumors on mouth, making it difficult for the turtle to see, feed, or swim. This disease is more common where water quality is poor, suggesting a link between natural ailments and human impacts. The very biology of sea turtles also presents challenges. Their slow growth and late maturity mean it can take 20 to 30 years for a sea turtle to become a breeding adult. Few hatchlings survive to maturity, so populations are naturally slow to recover from any decline. They have survived for millions of years by producing large numbers of offspring, with the hope that just a few would complete the circle of life. For millions of years, sea turtles successfully navigated the gauntlet of natural challenges. But in the last few hundred years, a new and far more dangerous set of threats has emerged, all of them caused by humans. The shadow of our activities now stretches across every ocean and touches every part of a sea turtle's life. Perhaps the biggest single threat is accidental capture in fishing gear, bycatch, long lines set for tuna and swordfish, trawl nets from industrial boats, crab and lobster pots. Unable to surface for air, they tragically drown. Hundreds of thousands die this way every year. Our pollution has turned their ocean into a minefield. Plastic waste is a particularly terrible problem. Floating plastic bags can look like jellyfish. Jellyfish are a primary food source for many turtles, especially giant leatherbacks. When a turtle eats plastic, it can block the digestive system, leading to slow, painful starvation. Turtles also become entangled in discarded fishing nets, plastic bags caught on flippers or shells, six-pack rings, and other single-use items. Ghost gear can wrap a flipper, cutting off circulation, or wrap the neck, preventing feeding or breathing. The water they swim in is contaminated with chemical runoff and oil spills, poisoning them and their food. The sandy beaches turtles need for nesting are under threat. Coastal development for hotels, houses built on dunes, new roads cutting across nesting habitat. Seawalls built to protect property can block females from reaching nesting spots. Even where beaches remain, artificial lighting from buildings and streets poses a grave danger. Female turtles can be discouraged from nesting by lights. Hatchlings, programmed to follow the brightest light to the sea, become disoriented. Finally, the direct and devastating impact of climate change. Rising global temperatures warm nesting sands. Rising sea levels flood nesting beaches, washing away nests and shrinking available spaces. The ancient rhythm of the sea turtle's life is being disrupted in every way by our modern world. In the face of these daunting challenges, it would be easy to lose hope. But I have seen, all around the world, that when people understand, they care. And when they care, they act. And so, across our planet, there are countless lights of hope shining for the sea turtles. Dedicated individuals, local communities, and conservation organizations are working tirelessly to turn the tide. Many of these efforts focus on protecting nesting beaches. Teams of volunteers and scientists patrol the beaches at night, guarding the nesting females from poachers and disturbances. They carefully mark each nest so it will not be disturbed, and sometimes they move nests that are laid in dangerous areas to safer, protected hatcheries. There has been tremendous progress in making fishing practices safer for turtles. Scientists and fishermen have worked together to design new types of fishing gear that help prevent bycatch. Turtle excluder devices, or TEDs, are now required on many trawl nets. This simple device is a grid of bars at the bottom of the net with an escape opening, allowing turtles and other large animals to escape while the intended catch, like shrimp, is retained. The development of large, circular hooks for longline fishing has also dramatically reduced the number of turtles that are accidentally hooked. The fight against plastic pollution has inspired a global movement. People from all walks of life are participating in beach cleanups, removing tons of harmful debris from coastlines. There is a growing awareness about the dangers of single-use plastics, and many are choosing to refuse straws, bags, and bottles. Innovators are developing new materials to replace plastic, and governments are beginning to pass laws to limit its production and waste. Education is perhaps our most powerful tool. When people, especially young people, learn about the incredible lives of sea turtles and the threats they face, they are moved to help. I have seen children who, after watching hatchlings scramble to the sea, become lifelong ambassadors for ocean conservation. They organize fundraisers, educate their friends and families, and demand action from their leaders. The story of the sea turtle is a story of incredible resilience, but it is also a story that is deeply intertwined with our own. Their fate rests in our hands. Pollution, habitat destruction, climate change are the same threats that endanger the health of our planet and our own future. In protecting them, we are also protecting the oceans that give us life, the air we breathe, and the stability of our world. We must make a promise to these gentle creatures: clean our oceans, protect nesting beaches, change our ways. This promise begins with small individual actions. Use less plastic, support sustainable seafood, learn about the natural world. It grows when we share that knowledge and passion with others, building a community of care that spans the globe. The future is in our hands. Let us make the right choice.